Hi, I'm Dr. A.G. Karthikeyan, NRG Specialty Hospitals, Ramapuram, Chennai. So welcome to NRG Healthcare. So this video is about how do parents decide about sending their children back to school once the schools are reopened. So the governments are taking decisions about reopening schools, especially for higher classes. There are many apprehension amongst the parents as to whether they can send their child to school safely or not. So this video looks at what questions parents should be asking to themselves and to their schools before deciding whether they can send their children safely back to school. So I would like to highlight 4 things which parents need to know before taking a decision about sending their child to school. The first thing is the vaccination coverage. So has the school teachers, all the staff members in the school been vaccinated against the coronavirus? So at present there is no vaccines available for children in India. So even older children do not have access to vaccines as of now. So hence the transmission of virus can be prevented only by vaccinating adults around the children. So hence make sure that the school's staff members and teachers are vaccinated against coronavirus. The second thing parents need to know is about the community transmission of virus in the school area. So is the school in an area where the community transmission of coronavirus is very high, or is it at a very low level? So if it's at a high level, then perhaps the parents should think about sending their children to school. If the community transmission is very low, probably it's very safe to send your children to school. The third thing parents should need to know is about the cluster of cases in the school area. So if there are large outbreaks or clusters of cases in the school area, then probably it is not safe to send your child to school. And the fourth thing which the parents need to understand is about screening test. So is the school have easy access to screening tests close to their campus? So can the teachers and the students who develop symptoms can be screened at an early stage, and not only the people with symptoms but also children and other staff who are in close contact with the symptomatic individual, can they be screened at a quick pace close to the school? So these are the things parents should be able to answer clearly before taking a decision. So even if you decide to send your child to school based on the above 4 factors, if you feel that the school is doing a good job and the local transmission is very low, even then you need to take into account several other factors before sending your child to school. So this can be taught mostly at home to your children. For example, the first layer of protection for your child is the SMS practices, so which is social distancing, masking, and washing with soap. So as we have mentioned earlier, social distancing requires a minimum 3 feet distance between any 2 students and between students and teachers. So this has to be maintained in the school at any cost. So if the school does not have enough space to maintain social distancing, then it's probably not safe to send your children to school. The masking is very important. So most of the children are very good with masks these days. So they look at adults, and the children who come to my clinic, they actually wear masks in a much more sustained manner than their parents. So teach your children how to wear mask properly. So the best mask to wear is surgical mask. There is no need for an N95 mask for children. And similarly, cloth mask may not be enough, at least as of now. So hence a surgical mask for children is ideal when they go to school. There is a video of us who is showing how to wear a mask correctly in children. So I will provide you the link for the video down in the description box. Have a look at that video as well and familiarize with the steps for wearing the mask correctly in children. And the third thing is about soap washing. So make sure the children know how to wash their hands clearly. There is again another video of mine showing how to wash hands properly. Give your child some sanitizer so that when they come into contact with any surfaces or books or notebooks, they should be able to sanitize themselves. The next layer of prevention is about your good respiratory etiquette. So respiratory etiquette indicates that a child should know how to cough or sneeze safely. One of the common mistakes children do is cough into their palms of their hand or sneeze like this and then touch the various surfaces. So this can aid in the transmission of viruses. So to avoid this, teach them to use a handkerchief or ideally a disposable tissue paper, so that whenever they cough or sneeze, they sneeze into the tissue paper, and that can be disposed of safely. If they do not have access to a tissue paper or handkerchief, ask them to cough into the elbow or into the sleeves of the arm, so that there is no transmission of viruses from the fingers to the other surfaces. So this needs to be taught at home by the parents before you send your children to school. Another layer of prevention is about early identification of symptomatic children and adults. So make sure that there are good screening facilities available around the school. So if they become symptomatic, get them screened straight away. Isolate the children at home. If they are symptomatic, do not send them to school if they are symptomatic. Even if they show mild symptoms, it's probably safe for them and for the other children. Another layer of prevention is about adequate ventilation facilities in school. So make sure that schools keep their classrooms open and the windows open, so that there is free cross movement of air, thereby decreasing the chance of coronavirus hanging on in the classroom environment. So even if you decide to send them by public transport, make sure the doors and the windows are completely open, so that there is free movement of air within the transport vehicle. So the another important steps which the school needs to take is about thorough cleaning and disinfection of the premises. So after every school working day, there needs to be a standard operating procedure for the school in order to clean their premises and disinfect the premises, so that it becomes safe for the children to go back to school the next day. So I also provided a link to the CDC website, which is an American-based website, highlighting the importance of all these preventive aspects which I've mentioned just now. So hopefully, if you find this video useful, please like it and share it with your friends and family. So do subscribe to our channel, NRG Healthcare. If you have any comments, please leave it in the comment section below, and we'll be able to take comments or any questions from you. We'll clarify your doubts. Thank you so much.